as well as wokeness, and how it was all factually destructive, harmful, racist, and life-ruining even. Let's get to debunking and proving every point there is about DEI and wokeness. Tim Walz and Kamala Harris are DEI candidates. The Guardian released an article dated March 26, 2025, and it just reads as the typical fear-mongering. Let's get to USAID cuts right away, and why they were good, and also why no mass suffering, deaths, nor loss of care is happening for people anywhere because of the cuts. Data: 500 tons of expired USAID biscuits in Dubai, costing $130,000 being destroyed, was caused due to logistical delays during a restructuring of USAID under Trump's efficiency push. It was not deliberate cruelty. Some of it, what could be saved, was redirected to places like Syria and elsewhere, but bureaucratic hiccups and security concerns about aiding terrorists complicated distribution some. His administration's focus was on cutting wasteful foreign aid, though the optics of burning food aren't great. I imagine not all of it could be saved. They got what they could out, and there was no uptick or unusual spike in deaths. I've already did a whole entire piece, a topic debunk, on how DEI and wokeness destroyed movies, gaming, entertainment, entire companies, franchises, etc. You can view that linked. DEI, as it was very harmful, destructive, and bad for us. Did you know that there was a head of aviation who could not even answer when asked a single question about aviation? He was criticized for his lack of experience and lack of merit. Trump's been all in on ridding us of the nightmares of DEI, all the extreme nonsense in our schools, etc. The new forms of DEI that we are now trying to employ keep, the good kinds are staying. Our focus is on merit, equality, and focus and precision. Democrats obsess over DEI quotas in federal hiring that bump qualified vets for race-based boxes, while ignoring the economy that could have given those same vets steady jobs. Check the OPM's 2025 Workforce Diversity Report. It shows a 22% rise in non-merit placements that crowd out skilled applicants. All of our readers were being hurt by Dems and the leftist, extremist ideologies and nonsense DEI mandates that were ensuring less merit, focus, etc. Schools were indoctrination campuses where students became anti-American and less educated, with more than half of degrees going to waste. College being a scam was proven, too much ideological waste and nonsense, extremism. CA wrote a whole book on it that you can check out linked. He proved it pretty well. Our readers are seeing massive improvements already under President Trump. You can find the data and the piece I did on that linked. When you look at other countries like the UK, they have prestigious schools with brilliant, wise, and intelligent speaking, example college degree holders, advancing and helping our society, not hurting it. Details of the 2023 confirmation hearing. The nominee, President Biden's nominee for FAA administrator, was Philip Washington, a non-pilot and the CEO of Denver International Airport at the time. Senate criticism. Senators from both parties, including Republican Ted Cruz and others, expressed concern over Washington's lack of flying or air traffic control experience. They emphasized the FAA administrator role requires a deep, specialized understanding of aviation safety. Key questions missed. According to some accounts, Washington was unable to answer basic questions about aircraft certification, pilot licensing, and airport safety, which led to sharp criticism during the hearing. Confirmation outcome. In the wake of bipartisan concern over his qualifications, Washington's nomination was withdrawn in March 2023. This incident highlights the importance of expertise in aviation leadership, particularly as the industry grapples with complex issues. USAID, their NPR article dated July 1, 2025, is mere projection, and it estimated that around 14 million preventable deaths may occur by 2030 if the USAID cut stayed permanent. But it was based on extrapolated past aid impacts, and its model assumed no other offsets, such as others, donors stepping in, no private aid, no program adaptations under the new State Department setup. While some deaths may occur over time, we are not the world's piggy bank. The endless wallet is closed. US foreign assistance has now been administered by the US State Department. Trump is merely fixing our foreign aid to as it should be. DEI forced harmful mandates, ensuring far less precision, focus, merit. Trump did not, nor is he gutting civil rights. That is fear-mongering rubbish. He merely gutted and reformed the harmful racket and control of the previous layout. They were forcing DEI inclusion, forcing quotas that undermined skill and merit. This hurt us where it counted in areas that save lives and such. All DEI angles, especially said by Charlie Kirk, were based in complete data, reasoning, and facts, and all racism angles regarding such are fully debunked. My Charlie Kirk piece is linked. He was the least racist, most loving person you could know. No, there are no proven mass deaths from USAID cuts. Every hundreds of thousands or 600,000 plus figure is pure projection, not real body counts. Models from BU, Lancet, UCLA, CGDev all forecast future losses based on past aid saving lives, but no actual death spikes show in WHO, CDC, or global health data for 2025 to 2026. Oxfam notes, no mass graves, no verified epidemics tied to cuts. Cuts happened, programs paused, but no evidence of hundreds of thousands dead yelled. Tons of ridiculous waste, abuse, spending billions, millions on stuff like progressive, LGBTQ, and woke causes overseas in other countries. USAID cuts were factually good. Biden's DI obsession ballooned the federal payroll with millions in ghost gigs and do-nothing desk jobs, but Doge's audits exposed it all. Kamala Harris was factually a DI hire candidate even admitted by Biden, and I will now prove why. She was one of the lowest rated and favored picks in her class. Biden openly admitted to hiring specifically a black female that is kind of the set definition of DEI in itself. He promised it before the election. She was not voted in. She was not favored by even her own party. In the Democratic primaries, she didn't even make it to Iowa. She dropped out months ahead of the first primary. She was super unpopular, not well liked, and her campaign fizzled out. She was more extreme and radical than Biden, factually being the most extreme and radical person we have had so high in office. Can you even name one time she really sat down for an interview in over 25 days most of the time? She never took questions ever hardly, while Trump took constant questions from the press and media, something one should do as a candidate for vice president. Name one great accomplishment that's not being the first black leader of her kind. Name one thing she did to help us. Help black people. A lot of black people speak out against her, saying she just uses them and panders with them. All she and Dems really do is hurt blacks and the lowest of us. Kamala Harris factually did not earn it. She got there, not even because she was good at her job, but because of her race. The reality is that she should have never been picked. Her skill was being a prosecutor, which is arguable whether she was good or not at all in such area. As for leading the US, she lacked merit, skill, good values, and the necessary competence to do the job as required as leader, such high position of power. So much evil. Crime, it's the same story with Newsom, where the duo and other major Dems there have destroyed plus worse. While she was not a terrible AG, and she had some success in her career, her and Biden and the Dems destroyed, felled, invaded the US and more. Places like CA, NY, VA, and MN are being actively destroyed and turned into right-stripping, nonsensical hellholes. She let loose hardened criminals, and under her, San Francisco steadily rose as one of America's most slum-filled, dangerous, crime-ridden cities. That's her accomplishment as AG. Her areas were slums. She oversaw San Francisco becoming the laughingstock of the country. All of California, especially under Newsom, is factually that, a terrible, sad laughingstock. Her and Biden opened us up to threats, harms, and risks of all kinds, while helping, enabling, and even supporting the traffickers, trafficking, cartels, crime, criminals, drugs, theft, rights violations, soft-on-crime nonsense that led to lawlessness while she ran on a bunch of lies. Nearly every value she had, on camera, she went back or fumbled nearly every value or plan she had. All she really did was lie time after time. It's on camera, we all saw it. She happened to fit a couple of boxes, while eliminating others. Biden largely overlooked the necessary fundamentals for the job at hand, overlooking serious issues in her leadership abilities, and even the common vetting at the time was that Amy Klobuchar would have been a better pick. Biden factually cared more about gender and skin color than skill merit, the best actual role, picking a candidate that was not even well liked by her own Democrat Party. She had terrible ratings, and don't even get me started on her massive, embarrassing, and failed 2024 run, wasting around $1.5 billion in around 2 weeks. To no win, pandering like crazy, using and baiting topics. Why is it that so many businesses left if she was so good at combating crime? Because she was a failed ag who helped fail California just like Newsom, and just like with the US failures across the board, still doing an entire piece on Newsom and CA soon. She was the DA of San Francisco, and then she became the ag of CA, where murder, crime, arson, RE, theft, and more went up. Typical with them, and how they openly help and enable this stuff. They cause it the homelessness, homeless traps, poverty, crime, drugs, theft, home stealing, rights violations, lawlessness, and so much more. Affirmative action is racist, immoral, illogical, and misguided.